Welcome back. Problem number 2330, valid palindrome. You are given a zero index string called S consisting of only lowercase English letters. In one operation, you can change any character of S to any other characters. Return true if you can make S a palindrome after performing exactly one or two operations, or return false otherwise. So we have this as an example. We have this string called ABC DBA. We should return true because one way to make this a palindrome is to using one operation is to change S of 2, which is the third element, which is C, to D. So it will be A, B, D, D, B, A. So if we read it backward and forward, it will be the same. So let's try to think about this problem. To solve the problem of determining whether we can make a string palindrome with exactly one or two characters changes, we need to understand the nature of palindromes and the impact of character changes. Let's take this as an example here and start talking about it. Let's make a string, and I want to make this white. I want to make it smaller. So how we can perform a function to check whether we can make this string in a palindrome in one or two changes. So first we need to counting mismatches. So we traverse the string from both ends towards the center and count the number of mismatches characters. So we have this one is equal A equals A, B equals B, and C doesn't equals D, so we have one mismatch. So after that we conditions for result. So if there are zero mismatches, the string is already palindrome. If there are one mismatch, which is in this case there is only one mismatch, it can be made palindrome within one change. If there are two mismatches, they can resolve with two changes. If there are more than two mismatches, it cannot be a palindrome within just one or two changes, so we return false. So it's basically quite simple way to solve this problem. So in order to do that, let me just create three variables. First, I will call left, which will be 0. Second, I will have a right variable, because we try to compare each element with the other, if with its opposite, basically. So it will be s dot length minus 1, and I will have another one. I will call it mismatch count. I will call it mismatch count. It will equal 0. I will create a while loop, and in this one it will be left, which will be smaller than right. Okay, and I will say if s of left doesn't equal s of right. If that was the case, we increase the mismatch count by 1, and also we left it will be plus plus and right will be minus minus. So we try to compare other characters, and what I will do, I will return whether it false or true if mismatch count is less than or equal to 2, and that's it basically. So let's try to check this in details. So first we initialize pointers and counters. So we use two pointers, left and right, from the beginning and right starting from the end of the string. We initialize a mismatch count to keep track of the number of mismatches characters. After that, we traverse and count mismatches. We traverse the string using the two pointers. If the character in the left and the character on the right do not match, we increment the mismatch count. and after that we move the pointers towards the center. After that, we check the conditions. So after counting mismatches, we check if mismatch count is less than or equal to 2. If it is, it means the string can be made palindrome within 1 or 2 changes. We might see some edge cases like string of length 1 are always palindrome. Strings with exactly 2 mismatches can always be made into a palindrome with exactly 2 changes. If mismatches, for example, if mismatch count exceeds 2, it's impossible to make string palindrome just 1 or 2 changes. Let's try to submit and see if this will work or not. It did work, and we are beating. Oh, we only beating 14%. Okay, this is not good, to be honest. But we solved the problem in 63 milliseconds, and the first one solve it in 36 milliseconds. Let's try to submit again and see if we will get. Oh, okay. This is the funny thing about LeetCode. Like for the first one, we only beat 40%. I submit again. We are beating 80% right now. But this was the reason because the milliseconds. It's basically we have 10 milliseconds in change between both of them. So yeah, it's always make that. So that's it for this solution, and see you in future problem.